What's going on? I'm Spencer Tillis.
I'm Trayvon Miles.
And this is the Delmarva Sports Insider. Coming up in just a bit in today's episode, we're going to talk a little college hoops as we take things over to the campus. SU is at home this week, squaring off against Marymount in a big CAC showdown. We'll have your highlights.
And we had a couple barn burners in the Henlopen, Central, Lake, Cape. These ladies kept it interesting. Highlights coming up.
And plus the best of the best. We're talking about those plays that everybody was talking about. Our top plays of the week. That's going to come up in just a little bit. But we got to start with the biggest game of the week. And I tell you what, I had this one circled. Everybody was talking about it. I even had people down here in the Bayside talking about making the trip up there. And of course, I'm talking about the top team in the Henlopen South. That would be Milford squaring off against the top team in the Henlopen North. That would be Dover. Both of them undefeated in conference right now. And this looked like it was going to be a preview of what was going to be the championship game, and it was sold out, and they were ready to go early on. The Bucks come into play with a nice look down low to Breon Murray. He powers through the contact for that and one finish, but back come the Senators. And it was off the hot shooting of that guy. Jordan Allen bangs home the three ball. Then he hits another one from the corner. This guy was unconscious. He had like 5 threes on the night. San Martinez, well, he's going to try and get his team back into this thing. Finds Henry Naismith, who drills a three ball. Look how fired up they are about it. Dover up 6 still after 1 and looking to build on a lead here in the second. Trayvon Moore attacks on the break, gets to the basket, finishes with a right hand plus the harm right there. The Senators' lead would stretch to double digits, but back come the Bucks. The sweet no-look dime by David Shockley to Martinez, but Dover eventually would put it away and then add the exclamation mark right there. That is a bad, bad man. Troy Scott misses the lay-in. Allen does not, however. 22 points, none better than those two. Dover, they get the win 68-54 the final. Honestly, it worked out about the way I kind of expected going in. I mean, I thought that Dover was about a 10-point, better. I think it down free throws down the stretch, but there's a few things that stood out to me. One, Milford's going to be dangerous. I mean, they have a bunch of kids. They play hard. They press. They can do a lot of things to kind of disrupt you. And as soon as they get Devin Kravitz back, I mean, it was his first game back. There was a little rust. He hit a couple of shots. He adds them another dimension because they're missing a shooter right now when he's out. But the thing that really stood out to me is Dover's a big team, man. I mean, they're not as big as Polytech was last year. And I think Polytech was maybe a little slower with some of their bigs. I think Dover moves well. And Terrence Woodland he's nice, man. He was going to work. He showed the ability to go over either shoulder. He could pass the ball. And when he's going and when he's aggressive, this team is going to be very hard to stop.
Dover has, interesting fact for you, Dover has 13 kids on the team, only 1 kid under 6 foot. So there you go. For a high school team, that is amazing. What a game that was. We had another interesting game, another team looking for an upset, this time in Maryland. Y-High hosting Stephen Decatur. Now, Y-High was looking to avenge a 30-point loss to Decatur in December. Jaquan Johnson early takes it up. Seahawks take an early lead, as a lot of people expected them to. Y-High, they're looking to go on a run late first quarter. Devontae Dixon, the sophomore, can't wait to see more of him next year, gets the steal and the layup to go. But, the point guard, Torrey Brittingham, racing back up the court, put a layup in on his own. Game tied at 17 at that point. Y-High gaining momentum here. Barry Gaines attacks the bucket. Acrobatic layup will go. Y-High actually led this game, but Decatur started to settle. Brittingham reintroducing himself right there as the Bayside Player of the Year. 3-ball good, then the lob to Ryan Beach. 23 and 11 for Brittingham, 17 for Beach as Decatur runs away with this one late. 82-66, not seen in the highlights there, the 50 fouls called. And I don't know who those refs were, but I'm sure they won't be back to Y-High anytime soon.
No, they definitely won't.
But to my understanding, Decatur held the lead for most of this game, a 6 or 7, 8-point lead, as we knew they would. You know what I mean? They're a better team than Y-High at this point in the season. But the lack of a ball handler, once again, hurt Y-High. 28 turnovers to go along with 22 missed free throws. You're not going to beat a lot of teams in the Bayside doing that, let alone a Decatur squad that is built like they are.
Yeah, you sound just like Wall. Those are the first 2 things he points at, is turnovers as well as missed free throws. And I can't help but remember you saying you can't wait to see Devontae next year, and he's going to look really good in that Woodbridge blue here.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see if he hangs out a while. I got a feeling he's not going to be there. But there's also a big showdown in the South. It was just down the road from there over at Parkside. They were looking to remain near the top of the South. They had a dangerous Washington squad coming into town, though. And Xavier Waters gets to the bucket right here, hangs and hits with an amazingly acrobatic shot right there. X with 6 points on the night. The Rams trying to pad that lead. Tyrese Purnell goes up, and, well, he's going to go ahead and send that thing far, far, far. A little fan to take home right there. Well, the block would lead to a charge. Josh Sparrow, well, he's going to get a lane at the other end. Parkside's lead cut in half at halftime. And then it keeps getting smaller. Montrez Oliver, this guy can light it up. 24 points trying to keep his team in it. But the guy in greens, well, they just kept on coming. Gary Bridell, this guy is going to make first team, and he has it written all over his. Without him, I don't know where Parkside would be.
That's right.
18 points, 17 rebounds for the junior. They hold off Washington late, 67-62 the final. And the game really shouldn't have been that close. Parkside kind of got in their own way down the stretch and kind of gave away a couple points, it felt like. But the things that kind of stood out to me was, one, this was an impressive win for Parkside because Washington is a team, they can compete and score with anybody. It's just they struggle defensively, and so they give up and too many buckets.
Washington and defense, right?
It's their MO is what it feels like. But Parkside, I think, has finally established themselves as that team that's the next best team. I mean, it's behind Stephen Decatur, it's behind Pocomo, clearly. But I think they're now ahead of Y-High. You know, they've cemented themselves ahead of Washington. And a lot of it, like I said, has to do with Gary Bridell, who needs consideration for that.
He's in consideration for Player of the Year, and why not? He puts that team on his back every night, along with Raekwon Williams and what he does on the offensive end. But Gary Bridell,
he doesn't
at any point on the floor,
rebounds at a 4, even though he's a 2 guard. He's playing 4 for him.
Any point on the floor. Well, one matchup on Tuesday pitted one of the hottest teams in the state of Delaware, looking to stay hot. Woodbridge taking on Indian River, and the Blue Raiders, they were looking for their 8th straight win in this one. Tevion Waters with the reverse layup, plus the foul in transition. Now here is Indian River's offense in a nutshell on Tuesday night. The layup, off. The putback, off. Big Meech is going to clean it up. Demetrius Jenkins finally going to get a shot to go. Woodbridge led 5-4, just 9 more combined points than me and you had, Spencer. Now Blue Raiders looking to extend their lead. KJ Mosley gets the 3 to go. Then it will be Khalil Leatherwood throwing one down on a defender's head. Oh my, take another look at that. You just might see this play a little bit later. Woodbridge goes on to win big, 60-29. And I tell you what, you came back into the office so sad after getting those highlights. But Woodbridge is playing some good basketball. Not enough credit, I think, is going to their defense. They're only giving up 41 points a game. I looked the stat up. Over their 8-game winning streak, you have to give credit to Coach Cannon and Coach Mosley for their attention to detail, knowing that anybody in this conference, the Henlopen, can score the ball, but the teams that are playing defense are the actual teams that are winning and making a difference. Like we saw with Dover, we thought Woodbridge would run away with the South, but take a look at it now. It is wide open.
I'm telling you, look at that South, or looking at Indian River. Who were their best players last year? I mean, it was Keontae Sturgis, so he's gone right now, and the Kewan Major, who's now averaging over 20 in college, and they are struggling to score without those two. I mean, they are both really good.
And you knew it would happen.
Yeah, we kind of figured it was going to come down the pipe. Well, Delmarva Christian, they were at home this week as well, taking on Lake Forest, and the Royals, well, they were making it happen. Spartans grabbing an early lead, though, after Dom Griffith gets to the hoop right there and legs it home for a quick 2. Back comes the home team. Mekhi McGee almost hits the rafters with this high arcing 3, but he also hits the bottom of the net with it, and that's what you want to do. 16 points for him, game high. Delmarva Christian not done just yet. Josh Vandoff going to work in the post right there. The nice footwork gets it to drop for 2, but Lake would end up pulling away. Cam Lewis return the flavor at the other end right there. The nice post work himself. And then Griffith puts this thing away. The beautiful dime over there to Lewis for 2 more of his 15. Lake gets the win, 51-38 the final.
Sussex Central hosting the Glasgow Dragons out of Newark. Dragons looking comfortable early on the road. Devin Earl is going to get the swing. 3-pointers ain't a thing. Buries the 3-pointer. Keontae Sturgis, not impressed. He's going to pull one from deep. Central down 15-11 after 1. Glasgow here with the get back. Jair Fuller going to drive it up the court. He's going to find Martice Younger with a little weird layup thingy here. He gets it to go. Glasgow led 24-21 at the half. Second half, all for the taking for Central. Teron Abbott there with a pretty up and under. Then the Golden Knights, or Abbott, should I say, putting this thing away. He's going to go through the entire team, hit the B button right here, then able to get another layup to go. Game high 17 for Tyron. Central pulls out the win, their second win of the season, 48-46.
Congrats to those guys. I mean, they are fighting right now.
Oh, they're playing really hard right now. You know, the wins aren't falling for them, but hey, you still got to fight.
At least they're starting to come, though. I mean,
we'll see what happens. As if 8 straight minutes of basketball wasn't enough, more is on the way. Bethune-Cookman left Florida, came to a blizzard just to go back home with 2 more L's. We're tackling more bad decisions and UMES basketball highlights after the break.
This is Coach Dave Byer, head coach of Parkside High School. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.